Hello and welcome to the Final Whistle podcast. My name's Harry, and as usual, I'm joined by Bobby and Adam. Today, we've got a few things to talk through. So we'll start off with one of the. There's not been very much news, so I've been scraping BBC Sport and Sky to find these. But Jesse Lingard rejected a new deal at Man United. To start generally, what do we think of his future at the club, Bob?
I don't really know. I honestly thought he was gonna carry on with West Ham and go around that route of maybe not accepting that he wasn't going to be at the start at United. But yeah, he's decided to stay. Obviously, as we all know, he got a few minutes in pre-season. I'm not sure if he's played much in the Prem. I actually don't really know. He's probably come on as a sub at some point. But yeah, it's interesting to be honest. If he has rejected the deal, then maybe that shows that at the end of the season he's going to head out. But yeah, I'm not too sure to be honest.
Yeah, Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm completely in agreement with Bob there. I thought West Ham would be a good place for him because he did well there, but obviously he went back to United, and obviously now with the signing of Ronaldo, he probably won't get much game time at all, if any, because of how good the team is. He might swap in for Fred here and there, but if he does reject the deal, I don't know where he could go, because if he doesn't want to go to West Ham, then I can't really see him anywhere else. United or West Ham.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be one where I wouldn't be surprised if we see him leave in January, because he's either, from rejecting the deal, he's either wants a higher wage, than what United were offering, or he just knows he's not going to get in the team. Obviously, like with Bruno in there, Ronaldo, as you said. So either wage or I think he wants to leave. United will want to make some money off him because he's an academy product. They won't just let him go for free. It'd be interesting because obviously West Ham have signed Vlasic in the summer window, so I don't know whether he'll actually fit in maybe for them at West Ham. But do you think they'd try and do, obviously because he did great for them before, do you think they'd try and just do everything they could to get him in?
I think they might do, yeah. I mean, obviously they signed that Vlasic, obviously probably because they didn't get Lingard and they felt they needed the attacking options. I definitely think he'd be a really key signing because he's a really good player, and obviously we know Antonio is quite injury prone, so they could see if they brought in Lingard, he might end up playing striker, which I'm sure he wouldn't be, too against. But yeah, it would be interesting. I definitely think they'd want to get him. I'm not really sure who else would go for him. Maybe if James Maddison leaves Leicester at some point in the near future, they might go for him. But other than that, as Adam said, I can't really see where else he would go.
Yeah, I think Leicester were actually linked with him in the summer at some point. I think it was like if Maddison was going to leave. Do you think, Adam, that he'd be able to do as well at West Ham as he did in that loan spell? Obviously, I think he did quite well for England during the international break against, who was it, Andorra, I think. Do you think he'd be able to keep his levels up?
I think he can. I think he has what it takes to keep up the good form he has. But I don't think he ever really played bad at United. I just don't think he wasn't given the game time.
Yeah.
So I think if he was to go back to West Ham, I think I could see him playing as well, maybe better.
I do remember Lingard being an absolute meme, and I do think he was hitting that point where he was actually quite poor. Like he didn't really do much with his game time, but obviously before that he was quite good. And then I think it's always the quality. Obviously, class is permanent and form is temporary. So I guess he's got that player in him, and we know he's got it because he's shown it on so many different occasions. But yeah, I think it's just down to him going to the right team, getting the right minutes, and playing with quality players around him as well.
Yeah, definitely. Another transfer that happened. To be honest, I didn't actually notice that this happened. I saw the rumours, but it went a bit under the radar. Solomon Rondon's joined Everton to link back up with Rafa Benitez. I mean, I saw the rumours. I didn't actually see it get confirmed, but he's there. Adam, how do you think he's going to get on there? Obviously, he's done brilliantly with Rafa, and I think everywhere Rafa's gone in the last few years, he's gone with him. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think as he's played well with Rafa before, and he's continuing to stay with him, I think he can play well again. But I haven't really seen him play before. I haven't really taken much notice of him. But from what I've heard from you say beforehand, I think he can do well. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob.
I think
go ahead, Adam.
I think he has to not also just because of Rafa, but I think he also has to do well with the team as well in general, not just that one player. So to see how his chemistry goes with everyone else.
Yeah, and Bob, obviously he's got to compete with Calvert-Lewin, and I think he said in an interview that he's happy to be a backup to him. Do you think that maybe it's obviously because he's getting into his 30s? Do you think this is more of just a way to pressure Calvert-Lewin because, let's be honest, he hasn't had really much competition for his striking place?
Yeah, I think obviously you're going to need that squad depth. Of course, you're going to have Richarlison in there as well, but any other strikers pushing him, it's always going to be healthy. Just keep him on his toes. And obviously, Everton are going to want to be pressing to win a trophy because it's been quite a while for them. So having a backup striker in Rondon's, if Richarlison gets injured, is quite a good idea, to be honest, because obviously they're going to be playing in the FA Cup, they're going to be playing in the Carabao Cup. They're not quite in Europe, but I'm sure. Wait, are they in Europe or not? I actually can't remember.
No.
Don't think so. Yeah. Well, obviously going to be pushing for that, I think, for the amount of money they're investing, obviously bringing in Rafa as well. So, yeah, I definitely think it was a good signing just in terms of squad depth, to be honest. And hopefully it will press on Cavalier to do even better than he already is for Everton fans.
Yeah, and Adam, obviously being a Liverpool fan and seeing that, that Everton have brought in Rafa, do you think, obviously he's worked at Liverpool before, do you think he's going to be able to get them into probably Europa League is their top that they can really reach for?
I think Europa League, there might be, because last season they did quite well anyways. They didn't do terribly, but they didn't do, the best, obviously. But I think it depends on how it goes, like you're saying. I think there is a very good chance they could get Europa League. If not, like I can't remember what the other two cups are called. Conference
Carabao
League and
FA.
something else.
Oh, what's it called? Yeah.
Like 6th and 7th place.
Conference
Cup.
UEFA Conference thingy.
UEFA Conference League, the one that Tottenham were in.
Yeah.
I think they have a good chance of getting to that as well, if not the Europa League.
Yeah. Obviously, another team that wanting European football, Arsenal, facing Norwich this weekend. Bob, what are your expectations for the match?
Well, expectations, I have absolutely no idea how it's going to go. You never know. I'm fairly confident that we're going to win. Obviously, I've seen the statement this morning from the club. Yeah, that Partey's back, Ben White's back, Gabriel's back, but I don't think he can play because of like the rule going on with the Brazilian players. So we'll probably have like Pablo Mari or somebody in to replace him. But yeah, I do think with the addition of obviously Tomiyasu at right back, all the injuries are free. Obviously, Partey's our main midfielder. So I'm hoping it's at least a 3-goal margin win, but it's never certain and you just don't know. I'm hoping this is the game where we put all like the crap behind us. We had a bad start, obviously, with difficult teams.
And
yeah,
0-0 draw would be the funniest thing from like every other team, like fans' point of view for Arsenal.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say
that's no goals in 4 games, then, and you'll still be bottom of the table.
I was about to say, knowing Arsenal, they'd probably have a lose by a 3-0 margin to Norwich.
Yeah, it's possible, but I'm just hoping that does not happen.
What is going on with the Brazilians? And like, why? I read about it a little bit, but like, I still don't really understand about that. Like, how can they play?
It confused me a bit when I saw it originally, but supposedly the Brazilian FA are making FIFA ban the Brazilian players who didn't go on international duty from playing until like they would have had to have quarantined. So I think a load of Premier League clubs kept the Brazilian players or something because of the red list. They're Brazil on the red list, so they kept a load of players back from international duty. And I don't get how the Brazilian FA have the right to do this.
Yeah.
But they're basically saying, well, you can't play Premier League football this weekend or like next weekend, which I don't really get. But somehow it's happening. Scott Carson's going to get to play for Man City because Stefan's out with COVID. So Edison's obviously out with this ban.
Kyle Walker's going to go.
It would be quite funny if Scott Carson doesn't get picked in goal. But yeah, it's a little bit weird. But
that's half of our like main midfield, our first team midfield gone. Because we have obviously the 3 midfielders. You got Henderson, Fabinho, and Thiago. 2 of them Brazilian.
Such a shame you're going to miss Thiago. I mean, such an influential player.
Oh yeah, he is. That's right. Ignore that.
He still might have to quarantine on international duty.
Fake Liverpool fan, Adam, get out.
No. I like that. Okay, anyway, moving on.
Bob, so if you were to lose to Norwich, which would be hilarious, how long do you give Arteta?
I couldn't answer that question. We went on a run in November, and we were like
Process.
We were 16th, like 8 games in, and it looks like he gets sacked, and he didn't. And then we lost to Villarreal in the Europa League semis. It looked like he'd get sacked, and he didn't get sacked. So I honestly could not tell you with a strong conscience that he is going to get sacked if we don't win, because the Kroenkes seem
we
to
get you
love
want to win the
us.
league, but like surely you don't want to win the championship, right? You want to win the Prem. Isn't that kind of the goal?
If you were Kroenke, would you sack Arteta if you lost to Norwich? If you had the power?
Yeah, and try and get Conte in. Well, if you think that it's possible to get Conte in, then do it. But if you think it's impossible, then just keep him, because
It's time to go.
I
give
think
him the rest of the season, because I think we're at the point where you just need to ride out all this bad stuff and just hope that we come out of it in a few years like Liverpool did. Hope that we find, our version of Klopp like Liverpool did, because Liverpool before Klopp were pretty tragic. Let's be honest.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me. It was terrible.
Like, it wasn't always this good. So I'm just hoping that we'll just ride it out, and at some point there'll be good times to come.
I think the most Arsenal thing would be they sack Arteta and try and get Emery back. Like, I could see
I
that.
don't think that would happen.
I could see
don't
that
think
them
so.
trying to, and Emery would go, "No, I'm fine, thanks."
Why would they try that? That seems so stupid.
I know he's done quite well when he's left you.
He did
So
better than Arteta.
yeah. I don't think Conte would go. Not trying to be rude, but I don't think he'd go. It's like us
maybe
sacking
not.
Chris Hughton and saying we want Jose Mourinho to replace him.
I mean, we're slightly bigger than Nottingham Forest, but
The two
Try
stars say
and get
otherwise.
Zidane. Try and get Zidane. What are you doing?
Maybe.
Again, I don't think Zidane will go to Arsenal.
Yeah, maybe
Probably
not. Maybe not, lads. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Anyway,
He'd
I
see
don't
the
know
call
who
from
we take.
Arsenal and just instantly reject it. He wouldn't even answer the phone.
We're still a big club, though, and that's what I think you need to keep in mind. Like, we still can attract players, and we can attract managers, because we're like the 8th richest club in the world in terms of our owners, and we have the fan base, we have a stadium. There's like this amazing thing that was supposed to get us to be one of these big teams. So I think it's all set in place. You just need to get some new owners and get some competent owners in.
You're not the only club that needs new
Oh,
owners.
yeah.
Tell you that much.
Yeah, a lot of clubs need them.
Preach.
You do, probably Man United as well. Probably Harry.
We
'cause
got
we've
one. We did
great
nothing in the
geezers.
transfer window at all. I couldn't believe it.
No, I think you gave your dinner lady a new 1-year contract, didn't you?
I know.
Doris 2022.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we need players. Like we've given what everyone contracts till 2025, 2026, right? But like at that point, they're all like almost 30, if not already 30 plus. And think about it: if we're not signing any players in the next transfer windows, like we're gonna run out of players.
Curtis Jones,
Jones and Harvey Elliott, they're gonna be
Divock
like
Origi.
top dogs.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you're a bit stuffed at the moment with just Origi on the bench as your backup subs.
Don't worry, in a few years you can buy back Ryan Brewster for like 90 mil from Sheffield United.
That's what we want.
There'd just be like a massive "he's coming home" campaign on social media.
Yeah, exactly.
You know how like obviously Messi moved, Ronaldo moved. There was talks of Mbappe going. I was thinking, please, Suarez come back, please. maybe. But no.
I mean, if you're talking about buying older players, he's like 35 or something.
Yes, but it's Suarez. Suarez. Think about it. Norwich came up as well this season. Suarez versus Norwich. I want to see one last game.
That would be terrible. He would get like 8 goals.
To be fair.
Yeah.
Suarez up top, Mane on the left, Coutinho, Cam, and then right wing Salah, all against Norwich. I would love to see it. And at Anfield. Oh my god.
I'd put Jota in over Coutinho.
Really?
Currently.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, if we're thinking about Coutinho when he played for Liverpool, because when Coutinho played for Liverpool, he was just a different breed of player.
Yeah,
and then he went for money.
Well, no, you can say money, but he also went because it's Barcelona, and Barcelona is massive. Like if you're playing well, and Barcelona comes knocking on your door when they look like they're a good team and it looked like it was going to work out. But yeah, I'd say to any young player now, don't go to not you're going to listen to me, but just take the advice.
No, no, Bob.
Don't go
you're
to
right, Bob.
Barca.
Listen to the Final Whistle podcast. Don't go to
Oh,
Barca.
yeah. We have very insightful knowledge here, but Ousmane Dembele, Antoine Griezmann, Philippe
Griezmann's
Coutinho,
gone.
they all flop. Yeah, well, he's gone now, but we'll see what happens.
I'd like to
Got short hair
disagree
as
with
well.
the statement there of if you are a young player, go to Barcelona. You get to play with legends like Martin Braithwaite, who's an absolute goat. I would love to play with Martin Braithwaite. He's just a bit of
I would as well.
a legend.
I wouldn't mind playing with him. Like, no
And
joke.
there's somebody who I'd like to play with as well. If I can just get a little, just bear with me.
I feel like this is going to be really a bit of a letdown, but the suspense is building. If you're listening to this on Spotify, skip forward a few seconds because you can't see anything.
All right, let me just find what's the best one.
For those that cannot see, it's a picture of Gerard Pique with one of his selfies off Instagram.
He's got so many.
It's amazing.
Like what? Oh, it's beautiful. There's beautiful. Is that? Where's the? Oh, go on, son. Anyway, we've gone off of the
These are
tangent.
the captions just top it off as well after every photo.
Yeah, I think younger. He's younger here.
Inspirational. Honestly.
Yeah, I know. It's beautiful. This one is. I'm coming.
Isn't he? He's gonna be like. Oh, what is it? Like. He's like.
Wow. Yeah, I agree.
Forgotten the word. Never mind.
We've sort of gone off on a tangent here. Should we go to the next topic?
Right. Moving away from the Premier League and selfies of Gerard Piqué. International football. Arsene Wenger, brilliant mind, has decided that he wants to have a World Cup every 2 years because that's a brilliant idea, isn't it? Bob, what do you think of that idea?
I think it's a stupid idea, to be honest. No offense, Arsene. I love you and everything, but like that's, I don't know. He seems like too much of a smart person to make. Maybe there's some sort of hidden genius behind that, but I feel like the whole point of the World Cup is it's, the magic about it. It's a special occasion, and I get it's still every 2 years. It's still quite a long time, but like having the World Cup every 4 years, so you have like a major tournament every 2 years, or is it? It's not every year. It's every. So you have one, and then you miss a year. Then you have one, and you miss a year. Yeah, and I think it just adds to the specialness of it. Because if they also did that with the World Cup, then the Euros people might go, "Oh, we should do that as well." And then
Well, the whole point of the having it every 2 years is because they have the 2 years alternate. They have like Euros, nothing World Cup, nothing Euros. The only interesting bit would be if they did a World Cup, but all the big teams focused on the Euros, and you see like an England team made up of the players that didn't get into the Euro squad, like just having Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and having like Kieran Gibbs in a World Cup team again. Put Theo Walcott up top. It'd be quite funny actually, but I don't think that's what FIFA really are going for with the idea.
No, they want the big viewers of the big players and the big numbers. But that would be interesting.
Adam, what do you think of it?
Well, before you lot were speaking about it, I was thinking, oh yes, what a great idea. Let's have it because it's just more football that we get to watch and enjoy. But then like listen to what Bob said. I think every 4 years, it's a long time, but at the same time, I think it's a good amount of weight considering the Euros is a thing. And like it is on a special occasion where like even if you're not a football fan, you come and watch it, and like it's just a great thing to watch, and like it's a good build up, I think, for just to watch it. And it's like I think I'd rather keep it every 4 years. Thinking of it now. Yeah,
I think UEFA are set to come out soon and basically say no, we don't want this at all.
Yeah.
What that will do, I would presume you'd have to have all the countries, like the big countries, FAs go, we don't want that either, to really shut it down, because it would be like the Super League if all the clubs pull out, they've got no real premise to go on. But yeah, it's another one of Wenger's stupid ideas. Like he also wants to do kick-ins instead of throw-ins because there's a problem with throw-ins apparently.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really strange.
I mean, if that happens, you can't see the famous roly-poly and then like throw in as you stand back up.
I'll tell you what, as one of the Forest being linked to every player on the earth, that from the Russia World Cup, there for Iran, and they had that player that went to do like that roly-poly and then didn't make the throw.
Yeah.
And we were linked with him for
Really?
a couple of days. Obviously, it didn't happen. He didn't
Yeah.
sign, which is really sad because I
That
wanted
would be
to see
quite
that
fun.
against Luton Town, but that was just another one to be linked with. As
Yeah,
we're
of
on the
course.
subject of EFL, over to you, Bob.
So, in Derby news, for their multiple FFP charges, they are in talks with the EFL for a potential -9 point deduction, as well as a suspended -3 point fine. Harry, what are your thoughts on this, and do you think it's deserved?
Well, to be fair, I think I've heard this question before somewhere. It might have been when I was typing it earlier, but
No, it's funny actually because it just came off the top of my head. Like,
did it? Oh,
yeah.
yeah, Derby. Just don't you love them? They're god awful. They may be higher than Forest in the league, but so is everyone else. It would be brilliant if Derby got their point deduction. It would be here's some maths, -12 points off their tally. I don't know what they got at the moment, like 5 or something. So put them below us, which would be a benefit, but they'd probably survive, which would be annoying. But they're in talks with the EFL, but basically it's the EFL going have some minus points, and Derby is like, no, we don't want to. And the EFL going, no, have some minus points. And Derby just go, no, we don't want to. So they've got to come to an agreement, which I don't understand why the EFL can't just go, yes, there's your fine for cheating.
Oh, yeah.
But it's one of the journalists, because they had this charge going against them saying that they hadn't been paying transfer fees, basically. And then they've dropped that today because they paid Arsenal the late payment for someone called Christian Bielik, who's a defender. So they basically hadn't paid you enough yet.
Let me see.
Does he exist? But yeah, so it's -9, and then I would presume that if Derby keep cheating, they put on the -3 as well to that. But the really interesting thing I found about it is that Wayne Rooney basically knows nothing about what's happening, because he said in an interview today, and they asked him, and he said, I wish I could tell the fans and answer their questions, but I'm asking the same questions and I'm getting answers. So basically Wayne Rooney's stuck with the fact that he has got no clue about what's actually happening with the club, which is always a great position to be in, having your manager utterly clueless. But then that's also the price you pay when you have a manager who's playing in Soccer Aid alongside Chunks. So
yeah, that was
don't diss my man Chunks.
Did you both watch Soccer Aid?
Let's watch the second half. Yeah,
was out. No,
Adam, that is disgraceful.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's not good enough.
I know.
Bob, what did you make of the result? Lovely win for the rest of the world.
It was pretty boring, to be honest. Like, I know it's not supposed to be the height of football or entertainment, but yeah, I wasn't very entertained. But yeah, I mean, it was just supposed to be like a bit of a laugh for charity or whatever. But I just found the standard a bit low. The Stephen Mulhern guy was just really unfunny and just didn't really add anything to it. But it was all right, yeah.
Unless Stephen Mulhern is watching this and listening to this podcast, then we would love to talk to you, Stephen. Please get in contact. That Bob didn't say that.
I thought it was really funny, and I'm so glad you went on and two-footed Darren Fletcher.
See, I actually quite enjoyed Stephen Mulhern on it,
Really, it's almost like you just said you hadn't watched a single bit of it, but
I was pretending that you're lying.
Wait, do what Bob just did and change your story.
Yeah, so I actually really enjoyed watching it. I watched from the first minute to 90th minute, and Stephen Mulhern in it was completely amazing.
He really changed the game. He captivated I think he should go for Derby manager.
I think he should. I think it would be hilarious, to be honest.
Future Arsenal manager?
Might be
more. Or he could replace Chris Hughton or
Arteta. Do it. I mean, Stephen Mulhern would probably be better than Chris Hughton, but
yeah, probably.
You will be finding information about my preferences about Chris Hughton hopefully next week on the Final Whistle podcast, when we will be doing a Nottingham Forest special. Oh, just you wait.
That means press the notification bell so you know when it's coming out.
Anything yet?
No.
There's much more to be said.
Also, follow us on Instagram, so
links
keep up
links
updates.
down if you're listening on or watching on YouTube. Links down below to Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you subscribe if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any other platform where you found us. Make sure to follow so you don't miss another episode. Thank you, everybody, for listening. That was The Final Whistle.